All right, here we are once again.
Once again, we are here.
Yep, and we got some shit to talk about tonight, cause man, I'm gonna be popping some popcorn. I'll be talking about this John too, cause this is about to get ugly.
Ooh.
This might get ugly. I ain't gonna lie, this might get ugly. But
Ooh.
nah,
Spice it
man.
up a little bit, huh?
Huh?
You spicing it up, huh?
Woo, we might have to, man, because if you want me to be honest, man, I'm starting to see some bull crap every now and then, So, hey, we getting closer and closer to the season, so we might have to spice it up,
You got to.
Hebrew, Bob, yeah,
Damn, man. Chill.
Hebrew,
Chill. This ain't my
but
chill.
nah, man. Um, but yeah. So what we're gonna talk about today may be I don't know who's gonna take this the way it's gonna be, but I'm gonna start out by saying this. Um, we're getting closer and closer to season, and January is flying by pretty fast. I'm not even gonna lie. It's already what, the 17th today?
Boy, I just now realized I got a youth game next week.
Oh Jesus Christ! Oh my God! So yeah, and next thing you know, it's gonna be February, Valentine's Day. So this is crazy. Um,
Did you say
you know,
Valentine's Day?
it's on the 14th of next month, and we don't have that much time until the end. So yeah,
Who
ain't
gonna
no
give me a
telling.
gift? I need all the gifts.
All right, man. So first things first. The first thing we want to talk about is adapting to your environment, because I think this is going to be this needs to be addressed more, because I'm gonna be honest. Some people can't get with the program. It's hard for a lot of guys nowadays to get with the program of team and the environment that the team is within, and they can't pull a team out of a specific environment, thinking they could change the program by themselves, but it can't. So, just to kick this off, man, what do you believe about imports and just coaches and just everybody in general trying to adapt to a specific environment?
Number one, I say you gotta have your ego. You gotta put your ego away. Like how I do with you guys. Everybody for like the first week or two, we get on the rhythm of everybody on the same rhythm. That lets you know right there we only got one goal, and that's to win a championship. No matter you can have your personal stuff, right? But I think like adapting to because it's going to be different. You're not going to always be able to. You got so much time on your hands over here, so you're not going to be able to hit your teammates because up and be like, hey, let's go work out at the same time you want to work out because he has work. So it's a big word that we use over here, accountability. You got to be able to do that stuff. If you don't have accountability, then it's going to be tough. What's your opinion on it?
Man, to be honest with you, some guys got to start realizing that it, everywhere ain't gonna be what they think it is. Of course,
That's
the
true.
perspective isn't exactly what most will believe. Most believe that most environments are, the lavish living, import life, and that's not really the case most of the time. Most guys believe that they could just come do what they please, as we
Mm-hmm.
always talk about.
Yeah.
But a lot of guys who feel like I would say feel like I did my first year, where they feel like they underrated or they want to be with the big dogs.
Mm-hmm.
They don't believe that they don't believe that they belong there. And if you don't believe that you belong in a specific environment, whether it's competing or even if a team is having a bad year,
Mm-hmm.
if you don't believe that you can either help elevate that program, and if you don't believe in yourself, that you don't, you're not going to do anything in terms of be productive or just adapt to a winning culture. You know what I'm saying? So most
Exactly.
of the times, I don't believe that most guys understand that you got to adapt no matter where you are, whether that's living situation or with a team. So I don't know. I have so many opinions about this about adapting and whatnot.
Yeah, my biggest thing is about adapting for a new guy coming over. You may be like going through college. In college we practice every day and we have those
Yeah.
rhythms. Over here you probably gonna practice two, most three times a day, right? So
Hmm.
you're not gonna have what I try to do. I try to get my guys who has the experience. But once you have the most experience, you got to pass that down and try to get everybody else to that level. I did that to you guys in 2022 when Dimitri was here. We had that first group and stuff. Yeah, we competed against import, but hey, let's go get our German guys. Let's go get them to where we can compete and we can start talking trash to each other, and they will pick up. And you saw it. It didn't happen the 2022 season at the end of the season, but 2023 season, you saw what happened. So I think that's what a lot of people got to understand. It's not about you. Understand, it's not about you. It's about the program. If you got to fix this team, you got to find a better way how to do it. You got to put your ego out.
Yeah, the ego part about adapting is kind of a killer for a lot of guys. Like I said, I'm not gonna name drop, but there's teams like I was speaking to someone on the board, another team this morning. They were talking about how it's hard for newer guys to come over here and adapt because they believe most guys believe it's professional football when it's technically semi-pro. It's pro, but it's semi-pro. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So
yeah,
we're
exactly.
considered professionals, but most of the time not really professional. So I was talking to a guy earlier, and he was just explaining to me how it's so hard for newer guys to just adapt and whatnot. And most of the times when they get over here, they get relaxed. You can't be too relaxed, especially in a team like say
Okay.
Bavaria or up north, say Braunschweig Lions or Swedish Hall. You get comfortable, you catching the first flight back, and like a lot of guys don't understand. You got to adapt to what the program is. You can't change shit about what they have going on because it's not your team, it's their team, and if you can't adapt to what they want and their philosophy, you're out of here. So,
Exactly. And the biggest thing is, as you said, that's a big key word that you said. It's not your team, it's their team. You can be a heck of a player. You can come over here, you can be I had a guy, he sent me a list. I'm not gonna say we ain't name dropping, but I had a guy who sent me a list of his accolades, what he did in the States. That's cool in the States, right?
man, nobody give a damn what you did in the state.
Exactly. When you come over
Don't
here,
give a
it's a
damn what you
different.
did.
It's same football, right? It's football, but you're not going to play with the same players like you did in the States. You're not going to have a. Sometimes you probably won't have most team bring in American quarterbacks. Okay, you got to have one. But if you got a
Yeah.
domestic guy, you're not going to have the same the rhythm because he probably going to have to get used to you in a while, but he's not going to be throwing you the ball like your college coach quarterback did. So that stuff it's gonna affect your gameplay, your mental as well.
Not just yeah, and I'm glad you said your gameplay as well because most guys come here and they believe that it's gonna be the same as college, but really teams are gonna double team your ass, and you're gonna be like, bro, why'd you throw me the ball?
Exactly.
You're basically gonna be taken out of the game, and then that's when it's gonna have to. This is where practice come in too. This is where you're gonna have to learn to depend on your German or your domestic receivers because I mean. If they're double teaming, okay, they wasn't throwing to me when I was playing my
Hmm.
second year in Landsberg. So what they're gonna do is they're gonna pick on those other guys. How are you gonna put the other guys in position to be successful? Because it's not really about oh they throwing away from me, so I'm good. No, because you can do your job, but everybody else will get burnt toast, barbecue chicken, and it's like what like you can't.
That's straight facts,
You
though.
didn't get those guys ready because you didn't know how to adapt. So
That's straight facts. That's straight. I remember telling you that in 2022, 2023. I knew they weren't going to throw you away in
second year,
2023.
that was 23. I remember.
23. I knew they were. So I was like, you was like, yeah, they ain't doing. I was like, bro, we got to find another way to get you involved in the game. I knew they weren't
No,
going to
no,
throw
no,
you.
no, 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 no. That was after the Rangers game because that's when after Marcus had that little talk with all of us about us not being.
Mm.
That was 22.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
remember.
And then like I was saying like, and that's what happens. Like it's not everybody, but like when you're good and teams know they're going to stay away from you. So then what's that's going to do? That's going to start affecting and then you're going to get mad at a teammate if he don't make a tackle. Oh, if I was there, I'll make that tackle. But you got to learn how to get them involved and get them on the same page. Like I told my quarterback this past year, but I understand that you used to this, you used to that, but like you got to come down to their level and bring them back up to your level. Because we've been playing this sport for some guys have been playing since we was jits.
Yeah.
Since you were little kids and stuff. But you gotta get them all on the same page and stuff.
Yeah, it's difficult nowadays because when you try to explain that to a guy, the first thing, like you said, is oh well, I did this, I could do this, I did this in the States. Like, bro, this first of all, I'm just gonna be open and transparent. Nobody gives a damn. Number two, they're not gonna listen to you because they don't know who you are. They don't care what you did or they don't know who you are. You got to earn their respect. Like earning the domestic guys respect. That's another thing another guy's got to learn too, how to adapt to, is learning that you got to earn respect from a team.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not just, you can't just cut just because you're an American doesn't mean they're going to cater to everything you say or listen to you. Like I learned that in 2022 as well. Like, bro, they didn't give a damn what I did. Like I had to adapt, and it's just most guys don't understand. Like you gotta. There are so many things you have to change your ways when you come over here and play, because this is not like what you think it is. Like this is literally
Everybody see the highlights of people's stuff. You know, everybody put highlights and stuff. That's
some
great.
Instagram reels and pictures and all that. Yeah.
Exactly, but they don't see the behind the scenes stuff that we go through. That's just like for a fan. They see the stuff that people on Saturdays or Sundays, they see the plays, right? But they don't see what you go through that whole week, even with the organization or with your domestic guys. You know, sometimes you may come to practice, for example, and let's just be honest, like when we had that losing streak, we lost to and then and then you saw where people went. We didn't have people at practice. So it was like, well, where are we going? What's going on? But then we went on that winning streak. Boom, 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 boom. You saw everybody coming back. So that's what I'm saying. You got to learn how to be able to take that. Like, how can I, if you're a receiver, how you going to practice? You ain't got no quarterback there really to throw you. And then he may show up. But then if you can't do teams, that's going to mess up your whole practice. You got to be able to adapt on that stuff.
There's so many ways to like adapt, and another thing that people don't understand is the key to also being consistency is learning how to adapt to if a coach puts you somewhere that you definitely gonna need to, that's definitely needed. You got to learn how to play that shit. Like you can't be stationary. You can't be a stationary player. I experienced that in Straubing this past year where we needed an edge rusher, and we didn't have no guy. We just had some big guys, man. So we needed somebody off the edge, and we had a room full of DBs. I came in a situation in Straubing where we had enough DBs to where they didn't need me in a secondary because we already had Conley in the box. We had another import DB playing corner, and then we had two smart safeties already, but they just was young as hell. Yeah. So when they started to progress, that coach told Max told me, go play. You know, I'm gonna have to play somewhere else. So it is what it is. So what happened was, you see what happened. You got to stay ready for whatever. I mean, look, you adapt, you work on it. Even if you don't get that starting rep, it don't matter. You still gonna get your playing time. And I mean, I was patient enough to not lose my temper because I'm like, why ain't I starting? But I saw what he was doing because I didn't start. I think I didn't start the. It was one. I think it was Kirchdorf, but I came in. I played the rest of the game because there were specific packages and things that coach wanted because that was a game plan. So a position change, then you're going to be in for a long career. You're not going to be happy with what you're doing. So that's why it's important. I tell a lot of guys, don't just work on playing one thing. You need to start utilizing what God gave you and just, work around your talents, because everybody's not going to just do like what you say you're best at. Like they're going to have to put you somewhere that, is going to be best for the team. And if you can't be a team player, then, I mean, you're going to be a one and done in Europe, honestly.
Exactly. And the biggest thing, I'm glad you touched on that, because the more positions you can play, like let's just be a lot of people coming over here in Europe and they transfer, they can be a receiver or running back, and they transfer themselves to a quarterback, and all of a sudden they're a quarterback now. All right. Bro, I'm just being honest.
Hold on. Hold on.
That's just facts, bro. But then, like, as you see, these people still continue to get signed. Like they get fined. And I'm not taking no shots. I'm not hating on nobody. But like as you see, like what he said, you got to find multiple positions to play because the more positions you can play, it's better for a team to get you. Right?
I'm gonna be a hater. Nah, I'm gonna be a professional hater. Nah, because I'm so tired. I am so tired of people coming over here and transferring themselves to a quarterback. The only quarterback you need to play is a wildcat quarterback. Don't talk to me about no reading no defense or no offense if you cannot throw the daggone ball. Now everybody's like, man, I played in middle school. I don't care if you played in middle school or when Jesus was down here. Like, no, don't throw me no ball and don't talk about me coming to play for you. I am tired of that. If
But
you really, of course, I ain't gonna say no names, but man, my first year in Europe, I hit this dude up, and he played in Australia, bro. This dude said, he was like, yeah, man. I was like, you come over here, but I don't think you'll be. I think you can play like I think a linebacker or something. I said, I'm a safety. I was way smaller than I was now. He thought I
yeah,
played safety. He said, I don't think you play offense because I'm running the offense. I'm like, oh, but what did you play in college? I already did my homework. I already know where he was playing. He said, oh, well, none of that matters. It was a long time ago. I'm like, all right, I already know what you know. I'm talking about, and I ain't never even thought about going to Australia to play no football because he was gatekeeping. And I'm like, I know why you gatekeeping because you ain't
yeah,
really no quarterback and you can't throw to any other skill position for real. So, I mean, that's a different topic for another
yeah.
day.
Definitely, definitely, definitely.
But everybody can. If you can play a DB, if you could play, I think maybe an edge. If you got the right coaching, and if you've actually been in that position at a higher level, I think it is possible to do it. But the quarterback is the one position that people need to stay the hell away from because, bro, they make teams so much worse than what it really is, bro.
Hey,
Like
if
I
you a
can't stand
quarterback
that.
out there and you hit me up and saying you was a this position, but now you can play this position. If you was a receiver and you hit me up and you say now, oh, I can play quarterback, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, son, you probably won't make it with me.
Mm-mm. Uh-uh. Uh-uh. If a quarterback hit me up, because I had a few quarterbacks hit me up too. If you a quarterback and you talk about, but I play receiver now, there's a reason why you play a receiver overseas. So don't nah. But I'm gonna leave that alone. I ain't gonna be no professional hater today, but
Okay.
that just made me mad, bro, because I can't stand it. Because people will try to tell you what you ain't
Yeah.
because you know what I'm saying. But
Exactly. Yeah.
turning to a quarterback overseas is a different story.
Yeah. Definitely.
But yeah. Man, oh Jesus Christ! I ain't gonna lie. Ever since he showed me that message, bro, I was so pissed. Oh Jesus Christ! And then he talking about Brazil. Man, hold up, nah, let me stop. But
We get the
yeah.
craziest things.
Adapting to other quarterback, adapting as a quarterback is, man, that's tough, especially if you
Yeah.
can't read a defense. So
Definitely. So what? All right. So let me ask you this: what was your biggest adaptation that you had to do? I heard it's a new route. Oh, bro. Oh,
yeah, it is. Yeah, it is a new
I,
rivalry in Bavaria.
I
It
behave.
is.
You
It
know how
is.
I
You
get
already know what
down.
it is.
You know how I get down, behave. You already know I'm stepping on the field this year too.
Torrent. Torrent can
Compete.
throw.
Who?
Torrent played for the War. He was at the same school I was at. He played for the Warsaw Mets, but we already got our quarterback Torrent.
You should have hit me up years ago. I mean, weeks ago, months
Yeah,
ago.
he can throw.
Listen,
He can throw too.
listen. Let me tell you this, guys. I recruit right after our season.
Shay, hold on. Who you talking about? Belts to asses. If you the quarterback, it's definitely gonna be belts to asses for you if you throw that ball. You bet not. Hey, you bet not even think. Wait, you already signed. Never mind. I thought you was talking about. Never mind. I was gonna say.
I thought you was talking about that.
Yeah, I thought you was talking about you going to Augsburg. I'm like, hold on, who? Nah, but nah. Um,
No, but what's one of your biggest adaptation that you had to make in your career since you've been over here?
Playing, oh no, not playing quarterback. Honestly, to be honest, that was a second because they wanted me to fulfill as a backup role, but just running, so it wasn't hard. But my biggest adaptation was actually understanding that um, teams have different philosophies, and I had to adjust to what the team wanted when I got there because I wasn't really told what the team wanted before I got there.
Mm-hmm.
So I was pulled into situations to where in Romania. I don't care. I don't give a damn about this because it's Rashica folded. I don't care. So man, they brought me, Billy, and Ronaldo back for a second season, and we had Jesse at quarterback. These dudes had us talking about. I'm talking about championship over the phone,
I
all this
know.
stuff. Now we knew damn well we wasn't gonna win no championship because we didn't even have a roster. So they folded. I think it was like a few days ago. They didn't have no roster. They didn't got no roster no more. So yeah. So my thing was we came over there. We thinking we going in the freaking semifinals, ready to go. Ha ha, he he, rah rah, roo roo, all that stuff. So we hype. The imports were the only ones hype, but in the back of our heads, bro, none of them dudes, everybody else knew behind the scenes we wasn't winning no damn thing but a third. Hold up. Hold up. Where that? Hold up, man. I'm going to show you this bullshit too. Hold up.
Boy, that boy.
Because I hate, bro, I ain't going to lie. I hate it.
What you get, a
I don't like
participation
third
trophy?
place. Look, man. Look. We over here, we selling third place. I don't even know why I still got this. This is a bronze third place medal. I am never playing for third place again. It's a good stepping stone, but I'm not playing for this again, bro. I can't do this. It's cool that we made that, that step
Hey,
up, but it wasn't.
oh,
Why do I still have this, bro?
bro,
So that's what
they gave y'all a
we
medal
got
for
third
third
place
place.
medals for that. Yes,
Boy, nowadays
that
they
was a
give
this a
participation
participation
trophy.
trophy. This is participation. So this is
Boy,
what I'm talking about. Like it's so hard because when teams don't give you a philosophy of what they want in the season, man. Oh, you said second place medal hurt my soul, but hey, first place, baby. But yeah, man, like that's my biggest adjustment is actually adjusting to what teams wanted because if they didn't give me no transparency of what they wanted, they just want me to come play. So that's my hardest. That was the biggest adjustment I done had to do playing overseas, was just feeling what they wanted on the fly instead of just not being told, hey, we're not winning the championship this year. So that's really what it
yeah,
was.
especially coming from a winner mindset. You have that winner mindset, and
Yep, and
it's
I know
tough.
third place mindset. The hell, bro? Why? I made me sick, bro. I don't even know I still got that.
Boy, that's crazy. Hey.
Man, what was yours though? What was the biggest thing you had to adjust over here?
Ooh, man. I give you like two. My first one, honestly, when I came to Poland, bitch slapping them, I had to adjust to the party life. You have so much.
Jesus, the party life.
I was in Sopot, so my first time I came to Sopot, I would do my stuff and everything. Um, yeah, it was just my environment. Like, I had practice, I go do that, and then you was in Poland, it's Sopot. So if people don't know, it's like you got Gdansk, Sopot, and Gdynia, and it's all in Trimester city. And so for me, I was in the party city. It was a college
Jesus.
town, so I was
Yeah.
like practice, go to the I think it was like Ego, and I'll be in there, and it was just like I had to adapt to my whole environment. The females over here, I had to learn how to like honestly, bro. I had to learn how to stop saying yes to this female just like I did in college. I had to be like, hey, get my quarterback Luke. He was like,
Mm-hmm.
Gabe, come on over here, man. This girl gonna try to do this to you, and just gonna. But I was young, and I was like, how you young and you in a new country, and you got this. Man, it happens though. It happens.
Coach Baker said, I like what's your team like? What's your strength? What they said, made the offense tight end. They showed up, not a single tight end. That's
That's true.
like I said, they ain't clear. There's no transparency what nobody really tell you before you come. And so adjusting to that on the fly, I ain't gonna lie. I saw Coach Baker do that one time too. This past year, he had to adjust, and we didn't have nothing. Man, hold up. Before I say this, I want y'all to understand something. I have no ill will, no bad intentions for what I'm about to say, but it ain't, bro. Practices every single practice. that you think is gonna be the way it's gonna be is not gonna be
Oh no.
everything. Like,
Oh
dog,
yeah.
you
You're
ain't
gonna
gonna
have to
have
adapt.
nothing.
And
Most
you gonna
practices, you ain't gonna have nobody at practice. So I seen Coach Baker actually adjust and adapt to stuff, and he runs practice pretty daggone smooth too. I actually like it, but some days, man, I ain't gonna lie. Coach funny. But no, I seen him adjust to it on the fly too. So
Yeah, that's
um,
the I'd say that's the biggest thing. You gotta be able to adjust. And then honestly, another one was like how as we mentioned before, when you start getting triple team, I had to learn how to take my. That's how in Krakow when Krakow beat us, my shoulder popped out. But like I had boys around me that were balling, but it was just like we was playing the Kings at this time. And the Kings, this was in 2015. So they was just running that thing. And it was just like, damn, when you get triple team, what can you do? You can go on defense and help out. But like on offense, we try to get you in the rhythm, but you can never get in the rhythm because they basically done watched us the whole season. And that was thing. So it kind of brought me back to college life. Like adjusting on the fly, as you say, you got to be able to do that.
boy, oh boy, because I remember my first year in Silesia, bro. Man, so they go. Everybody show up when the import like arrives, right? They want
Hmm.
to get like they want to, they
Make a good
bro, dog,
impression.
a good impression, dog. Tell me why? I think it was the third week after we played. Hold up, you have to be the kings of adjustment in Europe and this.
Yep,
Oh
that's true.
man. Hey,
That's
I'm
true.
gonna come back to what Torrance said, but nah. So back to what I was saying, I think it was like the third week after we played the Hammers in the preseason. No, the second week after we played the Hammers in the preseason game. And man, tell me why we had like probably like 6 people show up to practice, and I'm like, I was like, I thought this was a pro. I thought this was pro football. Like, what's going on? And then the coach said, well, Davian, most guys, it's too cold for them to come today, and they're sick. I'm like, what? That's the first time I heard the excuses, and I'm like, okay. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay. I still didn't understand it. So tell me why I come on. So I come to practice again, and we got like I think it's 9 people, but most of them are showing up, not even practicing. So
Hmm.
we really practicing on like 5 people at this point. So we had to adjust. All we did was just one on ones at one practice.
Bro, that's the worst thing. I know. That's the worst thing. And just to piggyback off what Coach Baker said, like that's the worst position to be in as a coach because then I mean I remember when I was in that, we had a good game plan. Nobody show up for practice, and then we lose. I think that was in New Orleans. We lost that, and
Mm-hmm.
nobody want to show up to practice. But you gotta win at practice before you win the games. And I can feel you on that, Coach Baker, because that's tough. Because then everybody start talking like, "Oh, why coach is doing this? Oh, we lost the game because of this and that." No, you gotta hold your ass accountable. Bring your ass to practice.
Hey,
Did
this is the
smoking
last
before the
point,
game?
and then we're gonna move it, and then we're gonna move on.
Yeah,
But
go ahead.
Torrance said some real shit, bro.
Smoking before the
Torrance
game.
said then also on game days, people smoking before the games.
Oh
Hey,
my
I got a
God.
story. Since I am not playing in this daggum country again, I'm gonna just go ahead. I'm gonna let this. Oh Lord have mercy. Can we keep it funky right quick?
Yeah.
Look, so we're in Romania, and we playing. Who was it? It was the Moorish Monsters. I think this is 2021 or 2022 maybe. Bro, we in a dogfight. Now this is 2021 because this one Max and Sherman was together from the Kyiv Capitals.
Okay.
So, bro, I'm telling you that we still getting bombed. They was torching that Ukrainian month was throwing that month. So, um, tell me why. We at halftime, man. We ain't even got a locker room for real. We in this little abandoned little schoolhouse thing or abandoned field house. beside the little field, Gloria. Man, tell me why I go outside. I'm talking to Billy. No, I'm talking to Billy, Kevin, and somebody else. I forgot who it was. I think it was one of our DBs, Marion. Bro, I go outside. Tell me why we see half the O line smoking a cigarette. We see the head coach smoking a cigarette. And bro, look, Billy looked at me. He said, "Are they really out here smoking a cigarette?" He said, "Well, I'll be damned." And I'm like, "Bro, no, they're not." I said, "No, they're not, bro." I'm talking about, man. I saw our teammates smoking at halftime, bro. I got so damn mad. Ronaldo got
I was
so
just about to
pissed.
say that. I had a teammate did that too, and I was like, "What, bro?" I'm talking about we break down, and then he was like, when you get ready, you walking back. This bro went in his bag, grabbed a cigarette, walking back to the field. I'm talking about he taking that puff, bro. I'm like, bruh. And then you go out there warm up. Poland, they put their head and then bro. I'm like, bro, what you doing? I played in Warsaw too, so
Oh Lord, oh.
we had people drunk before. I'm gonna be honest, bro. We had people drunk before the game. We had people drinking vodka at halftime and coming back and playing. Bro, it was just unreal how we was.
Man, let me tell you something, man. Because you talking about people showing up drunk. So this
I
is gonna
did
be
I did it before. I ain't gonna lie. I did it before, so I ain't gonna be the only person who say, yeah, you can't do that. I did it before and I learned my lesson. All right.
boy. I would have the runs if I had took a shot while I was drinking before a game. Because man, my body I ain't built like that. That leads me to my next topic, man. Because like I was saying earlier, the season starting back. The season is starting back in a few months for some teams. France is starting up pretty soon. I think a few weeks, or they might have started already. I know Spain has already kicked off again. Do you believe teams are starting a little too early? Because I talked to you about this earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I have seen a team that just played in the spring. I mean, in the fall, take a
Mm-hmm.
2 week break, come back after the new year, a week after the new year, and now they're hitting full pads again. When do you believe teams are supposed to start?
It depends on your season, honestly. It really depends on your team. I think like for us or for less, I can only say for us, right? Because how we
Yeah,
practice.
yeah.
If we plan in April or so, I'm using that off season. We're in the gym. We're doing the fundamentals. We're not putting the pads on until about, honestly, when we come back in January. That's just me though, because I want to make sure they got the fundamentals. Because you know how it is. It's like a lot of people. Coach, let's put the pads on. Let's put the pads on. Why put the pads on if you can't do the basic stuff first? If you don't know how to move or cut, there's no reason to put the pads on.
Man, because I see a lot of teams in the heat out here in the East. They're they take these little breaks and then they jump right back into it. I think in like right after the U season, which ends in like November or something.
Yeah.
And I don't get it because man, this is in the B
There we
teams and
go.
some B
There we
teams.
go, Troy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
exactly.
this is what I
That's
don't. This is
exactly
what
how
I
it
don't
is.
get. Yeah, this is what I don't get. Do they not understand that, guys? This is the fastest way you lose a roster is you get burned out so fast because you want to put the pads on so early. The mental focus is, oh, I'm so ready. I'm ready to put on pads and whatnot. You put them on you put them on in like December. Take a break, come back on in January, put them back on again, and you're already doing these fundamentals and stuff, but you're hitting full speed. You're doing team. Do they not understand that the mental focus is going to be gone by the time season, and then they're going to be burnt out this season, and then in the season they're not even going to make it because I'm so banged up, I'm tired, I'm mentally out of it, I'm mentally drained. Because what have you been doing? You rushed to put the pads on, and so like, do
They're
you
gonna
believe
start.
that most guys burn themselves out?
Yeah, I believe that. I believe that. I will 100%. I can tell you a prime example. In 2020, I took over here in Landsberg, right?
Mm-hmm.
2021, 2020, but 2021 season we had COVID season, right?
Yeah.
We was playing. We was playing with 20. We played Ingolstadt that year. We went to
Uh-huh.
Ingolstadt. This is why Hunters think, or think he can play another position because we had that. We had 20. We went up there with 29 people. We played with 23 all in together.
Jesus Christ.
24, but we balled out. But that whole year, people got hurt hamstrings. That was the number one injuries from us. Why? Because, oh, we should hit. We should hit. Coach, we need more hitting at practice. Me just now getting there, not knowing everybody, I'm like, no, we don't need this. You guys need to learn how to practice first. But the thing that happened, just wasn't on our side that year. It was just an injury season for us. But I think a lot of teams do start early. Um, I think a lot of teams do start early about putting pads on, and like most guys think they want to hit, but then they really don't want to hit in the game. That's the difference now. That's the difference. You want to hit at practice. You want to hit at practice. But then when I turn that film on, I look at the film and what a tackle that. You make that play at practice. You know what we call them? Practice dummies.
Damn, I can't cross my legs. There we go. Yeah, yeah, man. This is exactly what I'm talking about, man. Because, like, I mean, practice drills in Alabama, we call those T-shirt All-Americans. Like, why in the world would you go full speed at practice when you should emphasize your technique? You should always work on the little things, how to put yourself in a position to make the tackle. And when you
Exactly.
do indies or you do position drills such as tackle drills or run fits, all that, work on your lanes and whatnot, you apply that to practice, but you don't want to make the play. Why
Mm.
is that? It starts with the focus and and that dog. If you ain't got the it in, like if you don't have it, then you ain't gonna do none of that tackling stuff. You can do it in practice,
Yeah.
but what can you do when everybody looking?
You
You
know,
scared to make a mistake. That's a difference. Like preparation is everything, man. I
that
hate
that's
I
the
hate the
that's
way.
that's the biggest thing. Preparation. I tell my guys, I tell y'all, hey, practice should be the hardest thing. Because when you in the game, you should be able to just go. It ain't no
I'm gonna do.
thinking, just
I'm gonna do.
go.
Hold on. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I'm gonna run through Justin like it's Oklahoma drills when we play him this season too.
Man, hey, leave Justin alone, man. Let him go to a new team on a fresh start.
But no, like what was you saying? I heard. What was you saying?
Like I think like a lot of people they gotta understand like you gotta know how to practice first. Like a lot of teams, I think they gotta learn how to practice. That's the number one thing. I can't tell everybody how to practice, but I think we can prevent certain things from happening. And then, like for example, you have a person who will make a play at practice and celebrate, right? But then when you get in the game, this person is on his back. Oh, I get him next time, coach. Oh, I get him next. How can I put you in next time? You keep doing the same thing over. But then like
Oh, we got it.
it's a time where you have to just sit back and say, okay, coach, I need help. Because there's a lot of people, even I'm gonna speak for imports, all right? It's a lot of imports over here the same way, right? It's a lot of imports that hate on other imports, right? Just because they may got that position or they may get that contract that you always wanted, and you start hating from a distance. You don't know what that import had to go through to get that.
Man, I tell people all the time, man. You had all the opportunities in the world, but you didn't make the best of yours. So why are you hating? Like it's
Exactly.
like I said, it starts with your preparation. Not only as an import as a player, but also as a coach too. Because if you go into another program and it's mandatory for you to coach, you didn't make the
Hmm.
best of it. You did
And
not fulfill your job as an import.
man, I'm gonna be real with y'all. When we had that situation, I love practice. And
It was raining.
yeah,
Yep, I
but
remember.
I talked to my sports director and we talked it out. But like as a coach, sometimes it's hard, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. It is hard because you gotta when you like Coach Baker said when you game planning. and your players don't show up, it is tough. But then also, like, when do you think this is my question to you? When do you think is the right time? Because you see a lot of teams. You played over here for a while, a long time. Actually, you're a vet. You see a lot of teams doing Oklahoma drills. Do you think they need to be doing Oklahoma drills, or do they need to be doing game like situations?
Definitely game like situations because I mean, let's be real. I mean, realistic. The most realistic thing you could do in practice is learn how to put yourself in the best situation to where you know that okay, if a linebacker, no, if the safety has to fill an alley, cornerback has to contain from the outside.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the times, teams don't realize pursuit angles and
Bingo.
filling lanes is a big thing to do because I mean that's a lot of things that teams don't work on nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really important that and it's been a long time since I've seen that, but GFL they expect you to know that, but it's hardly worked on because we messed up on it a lot this past year on defense, and it's just one thing that it's really one thing that needs to be emphasized is the little things. Like I said before, the little things a lot of people don't do, and the great players work the little things, do the little things right. The good players do the big things right, don't work the little things. So the
Mm-hmm.
great teams always emphasize do the little things right, which is pursuit angles, fundamentals, basics. Nothing, all of this little advanced stuff that has to wait. And that's what's wrong with a lot of teams nowadays. They end up doing too much when they need to do the most, like
Yeah.
the most effective things.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all never. Oh shit.
Damn, I can't even see stuff.
He said y'all never practice on defense. You walk through practice. Ooh
Who said
shit.
that?
Coach Baker
I can't even see no more.
and running to the ball. Uh, I had that same problem the other day. Um, I'm not gonna lie, man. He ain't lying though. See, I don't know how it was all season because I showed up for 6 games. But when I was there, we still had a lot of guys that didn't run to the ball and do their job. And Max did make that a known thing. Hold up. Yeah,
Man, I can't
Baker
see what
said,
people saying.
Earl said, and running the ball.
Hey, hey, Earl's gonna be the coach that's gonna get on to you if you ain't running to the ball, as any
That's a
coach
fact.
should.
That's a fact. He black, so I already know he gonna be yelling.
Hey man, you got to tell me what they saying in the comments. I can't see it.
Yeah, that's the okay. So Austin shit is this Austin Carter said y'all think of Estonia, but what y'all think of Estonia ball or Netherlands? I was supposed to sign, but I chose otherwise.
Okay.
Hey, so what I gotta say is, hey, so what I gotta say is, I don't know about Estonia.
Stonia,
I don't know
listen,
about Estonia.
that's a upgrowing football. That's something that you can upgrowing. Back in the day, it was the top country. It wasn't like back in the day. It was like Germany and Austria. Those are the two countries, and it was super hard. So you go play in like Sweden. Everybody's playing in Sweden, Finland, and other countries like that. And then that's when all these other countries get attention. That's how Estonia is right now. They're just trying to bring you out there and let you play and stuff. It's nice out there, though. I ain't gonna lie, it's nice out there. But I
All
wouldn't do
right.
it.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I don't even know. I don't even know where it is on the map. Honestly, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not lying. I'm for real. So my next topic is, man, because Dez. I was supposed to have Dez come on here, but I guess he's busy. My next question to you is, man. So we talk about how imports adapt. We talk about how imports don't take the opportunities they got. We see imports all the time come over here. We see some good ones. We see some really bad ones. We see some amazing ones. We see some quiet. We see all kind of imports coming over here. But the imports that literally do what they're supposed to do, I'm talking about. We see those guys who they really are. Uh, we see those guys do everything right on the field, but when it comes to them not just imports, players too. We see players of all kinds. When it
Mm-hmm.
comes to them wanting to get bigger or more healthy, we get messages from, and I'm pretty sure you do too. We get messages from domestic guys all the time asking, "What can I do to get bigger? What can I do to get faster? What can I do to do this, do that?" I want to play in the States. I want to play GFL. I want to do. They want to. They have accolades. They have everything they want to do, but they
Mm-hmm.
don't do the little things right when it comes to taking care of themselves. What do you think is the most important thing for a younger guy or a domestic guy to focus on when it comes to taking care of themselves, who wants to take it serious and wants to step outside their comfort zone and be an import player, such as go to the ELF or something? Because we get
Mm-hmm.
messages all the time about guys and imports wanting to, become better and bigger. Like, what do you think about nutrition and how the role when it comes to becoming a good or better athlete?
First of all, they should stop lifting like a bodybuilder. Don't lift like a bodybuilder because you're playing football. That's number one. Like that's just real. All right. Second of all, I think you should be focused on more flexibility and mobility. All
Yeah,
right. And the reason why I say that, the more flexible you are, the more agile you'll be able to you have. You will also have more explosion. This is a topic we should have brought Desmond on. This is his role right here. He is
let
a
me see.
coach.
Let
Is
me
he
see.
on?
No, let me see if I can get him.
Let me let me
I just sent him an invite. Let's see if he can, because we were talking about this the other day. Yeah, it's crazy. It's
hold
crazy.
on, bro.
Nobody knows how to, and that's true.
Let
As
me
a
come
matter of
back.
fact,
I'm
my
gonna come
coach.
back to it. Stay on. I'm gonna come back.
All right, I got you. Troy, Coach Troy, you ain't lying. When I was in my second, I think during 2021 season, my Polish team, we were doing straight deadlifts. And crazy thing is, I was over here power cleaning like a man. Hold up, here we go. I was power cleaning like crazy, and they didn't know how to power clean, and that's one of the most important lifts, especially if you want to become more explosive. Does it work now?
Yeah, yeah, it worked. Actually, yeah, I see it now.
All right. So yeah, so it's just, to me, it's just kind of crazy how guys can deadlift all this heavy weight, do all of this other stuff, like all these CrossFit lift, but can't power clean, work plyometrics, and do stuff like that. Like they do a lot of Olympic lifts, and this is what I don't like about a lot of these trainers out here nowadays, because they said, "Oh, you got to get bigger, you got to get stronger to play this game." No, you don't. You First of all, it start like I said the other day. It starts with the way you think and the way you carry yourself. And if you're in a weight room, you gotta know your body type. If you know you're not supposed to be jumping 4 stack boxes, then don't do it. You could gradually work your way to there, but man, work on something that you need to translate in the game.
Exactly. I say like you need to do stuff that's in your position. There's no way that, of course, you see stuff on Instagram and all the time and stuff like that. Stop. Listen. Don't compare yourself to them people. Those people been probably doing it a long time. Like you gotta stay on the path. Of course, you want to try new things. That's totally fine. And I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, you don't do that. But if you really want to be great, if you really want to be consistent, that's the biggest thing. Do stuff over and over that's in your position, and that's the only
Yeah.
way it's going to be muscle memory. And then on top of that, you're going to be disciplined. Then when you be disciplined, you're going to be able to get the results that you want to get because you're doing the things over and over and over again.
And it's like you said, over and over again. And it's not just ego lifting. A lot of
Exactly.
guys tell me all the time about ego lifting. I got 100 kilos on my bench like 5 times. I don't care. Is that going to help you perform on the field? No, you're still gonna get ran by. Like, it doesn't matter how much you bench. Do you know what an actual bench press really is? Do you know what a pike push-up is? Like, no. Do you know what a Bulgarian split? The purpose of a Bulgarian split squat? Like, no, you don't. Like,
Exactly.
do you understand what kind of lifts can actually translate to your skill position? No. Like, a lot of guys don't understand. Like, staying healthy and being a good performer goes much more than just lifting weights and just say, "Oh, I got to max out on this." Like it doesn't matter. Like that starts with
Bruh,
watching film,
that's the biggest.
preparation,
That's the
watching film,
biggest.
confidence, and lifting that translates to the field. Like, yeah, it's okay to bench. Like, I'm not telling nobody to don't bench or do nothing. You like guys got to understand, like, man, doing all this stuff really it helps, but you got to learn. You got to know what body type you really are. Like,
Definitely.
it just
He
makes you
said,
very stiff. You
yeah,
can you
yeah,
see the
it
comments
does.
now?
Yeah, I see it. I see what Coach Baker said. Yeah, it does make you stiff, and I can be a victim to this. Um, I used to do nothing but speed work. When I was playing, I used to just do nothing but speed. Even when y'all was here, 2022, I remember Charles saying, "Man, you had it in your YouTube video. We supposed to do plyometrics or something like that." He's like, "This
But that type
plyometrics."
of work, that's the type of work that we needed though, because we had those type of athletes though.
Exactly. So it's like you gotta know who you working with. Like I said, this is more in Desmond role right here. Like I know the
Yeah,
speed stuff, but that's not my thing. I am a coach. Desmond know how to do the role and stuff like that. He understand the
yeah.
body more than I do. But I was told when I was young, it was great to be strong. Exactly. Exactly. And that's the
Alabama.
thing. Exactly. You gotta be able to move. Like, you can be like as you say, you can lift all that weight. But I used to tell the guy, I seen a guy in the gym and I was like, hey man, like come play football. Big and everything. He can't relate. He only a bodybuilder because
Nein, ich habe
they,
Arbeit. Ich
yeah,
habe Arbeit.
ich muss arbeiten. This is okay. When I asked him when he free. He's like, yeah, then Dienstag and Donnerstag. Well, this is when we train. Oh
Yeah,
yeah, then I can't come. Then he turns into a bodybuilder, or he wants to do the bodybuilding with the spray tan on his body and start eating healthy and take all those. That's totally fine. But I'm just saying, man. Like I think number one, nutrition is big. I learned this as a player, still learning it now as a coach. Nutrition is big. What you put in your body is you got to hit your proteins. You can't eat fast food. Athletes, I'm telling you this. You can, but you can't really eat fast food and expect to go out there and like everybody know how I used to eat gummy bears before a game, and I still do sometimes. But you can't you can't do that when you get older because your metabolism is not like a 20-something-year-old anymore. You got to eat the stuff that's actually gonna make you be fueled before a game. So what do you eat before a game to
I
make
eat
sure?
chicken noodle soup.
Chicken noodle soup.
Oh shit! Wait, did you not see the stuff they was talking about in
I
Charlotte?
saw it. He said, make sure you eat chicken noodle soup.
Devion approved. Get that shit. It's delicious. Nah, but that's that because it wasn't. It's not so light on my stomach,
True.
and it ain't heavy. Like I don't know. I'm so weird. My body like, but also it's important. You got to know your body type too.
Mm-hmm.
Some things ain't good for everybody, but for me, that had me running through the whole game. Like if I ate that, I didn't have no problems
Yeah.
during the game. And the thing about that was, man, after the game, that's when the problems came. When my adrenaline came down, boy, that adrenaline came right out through my booty hole, bro. It was just came out like a water fountain. I'm talking about.
I think the biggest thing, like in college, when we in college in the States, we have the schedule, the meal
Yeah.
schedule and stuff like that. Most of the time we had steaks. I mean, I can only speak for me at Jacksonville State. We ain't at Faulkner. We had steaks. We had pasta. We was eating all those things because they was like, "Oh, you gonna be moving a lot. You are gonna be doing this." But like, that's what I'm saying. All the guard. Hey, I swear. And then that's the biggest thing. Like you have that stuff to take home for the next day for breakfast. Like I remember when we played Kentucky, bruh, we had pizza. They said, get all the pizza you want. And
Mm-hmm.
it was like, get all the pizza you want. So for me, I'm not worrying about just getting one pizza. Bro, I'm going to enjoy the city. I'm going out to get the city pasta and all. Get my team. You got a curfew. You got to be in time. All right. I'm trying to see what this food like. But at the end of the day, man, you got to see what's good for your body and take the right nutrition in.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
I
got.
went to I transferred to Fulton.
This is what you eat before. You mean McDonald's isn't what you eat before the game?
Debbie, I really do eat McDonald's before the game. Why are you lying?
No, I know. No, no, I know somebody who did. I ain't saying names though.
Man, I
I
used to do
think that's
that
who you're
shit.
talking about, but I don't think it is though.
I
But
used to eat, man, when I was in Poland 218, bro, you know how that stuff was playing for the Sharks, man. I knew every delivery driver.
mm,
Hey, Fulton, I like it down there. I liked it when I was
was it?
there.
What is it? Coach Blake? Was it Blake? What's his name? Was he your coach?
When I got there, it was Blake Bourne.
Yeah,
Actually, it was,
Borden.
yeah, because
Yep,
what's his name?
he was
Coach
recruiting
Baker
me too.
left. Coach Baker left to go back home to Texas,
Dang.
and
Okay,
then
yeah, because he was
Blake
recruiting me
took
too.
over. Blake and his dad, Coach Charlie Bourne, they took over.
Yeah, that's crazy. I forgot about him.
Hey, but
Yeah.
that was a good situation though. You talking about adapting? I
hmm
had to adapt there.
Well, I mean, to be fair too, you played GFL. Coach
hmm
Baker, he was coaching in the GFL as well.
hmm
Um, that wasn't me though, Coach Barker.
Yeah, I
Okay.
know Coach Barker. Oh, I'm
Um,
sorry, I said
he
Coach Barker.
so he was there as well. It was kind of difficult to see a lot of guys when I first got there. I ain't gonna lie, I struggled to adapt the first practice because if you saw the playbook, man, the playbook we had was it was a lot. We had to learn,
hmm
and studying on your own is a lot different than actually getting the reps of it. You could study it, but it's still a lot to know. Like being in the place to where you have to be on the field.
Yeah.
When it comes to and a lot of imports start to, and a lot of imports believe that they're ready for the GFL level or the ELF or GFL. And bro, the one thing I had to realize this year when it came to me adjusting, I'm talking about just this past season was
Oh.
get with the program or you're going home, bro. Like
Oh yeah.
no, they got guys lined up. Like guys are lined up. They had the organization has guys lined up ready to come in if you mess
Definitely.
up and you can't get with the program, man. Like imports got to start believing that they belong there because if you can't adapt, dog, you gonna be in for a long few however long you're there, man. And it's tough for a lot of guys to believe that.
Yeah, definitely. It's still like if you ain't doing your job, we can get rid of you. But I try to give people the benefit of the doubt to make sure that you still like for me, right? I don't try to have that many plays because I just think you should keep it simple.
Yeah.
Keep it simple, maybe different formations and stuff like that. But it is nice to add plays and stuff. But like also you got like for me, right? I can only talk for me because I've been in their shoes and I've been as an importer as well. And like it's like when you work a home job, bro. Like it's for us as an import. All right, I'm talking as for import. We just playing ball. That's all we're doing. We just got to play on. We just got to show up to practice, go to the youth team, go to the sponsors, and play on Saturday. That's it. Now,
Eh,
when you got a full time job plus the football, that when stuff starts turning around, turning around. Let's put it like this: if you think a lot of people in the NFL, let's just say NFL also allowed you to work a game, like work during the season. You think you have a lot of people really going to the games and stuff? But I had to learn that myself though. I had to learn like, all right, if I go to work, I gotta go to practice. I gotta make sure
mhm.
they ain't gonna be wanting to learn, bro. They may had for example, man, I had somebody break up with their girlfriend. Now they going through a midnight crisis. I had to get his mind right, and he ain't there in the game. Like,
Too. I don't know why that continues to
yeah, I
happen.
don't know. I think we
I
set
think
it
it's
for
like
an
an
hour,
hour or
though.
something.
Yeah, I think we set it for an hour.
That's
But that's just how it is, man. Like I don't try to have that many plays in my playbook in general because I don't want you to start thinking. I just want you to
yeah.
play. Just play fast. And if you make and let's just be honest, you're gonna make mistakes because everybody ain't perfect. Man, you're gonna make mistakes. If you're gonna make a mistake, go full speed.
Troy said something on the last one before it cut off. Troy said that it's very hard to come in mid-season as a coach, especially to play and coach. Uh, dude, I saw a lot of that this past year too,
Mm-hmm.
and I couldn't imagine because, like I said, he had to change a lot
Yeah.
from what was going on earlier. So I couldn't imagine what he was actually dealing with. And I'm just like, oh my goodness. Um, yeah, he's right. It is hard, and I can't imagine how it is for a coach. But as an import, like, man, I told you about how when I was at Stroming that they like it's so like it's political. Like there's a lot of places in GFL. It's just very political.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
it and I came in and it's like they didn't know who in the world they didn't know that the guy's replacement was leaving, and so and I'm trying to get adjusted to the faces in like the city and stuff like that. I'm walking around. I'm going to the city and I'm going around with the team and stuff like that. I go out for the first game against Paderborn at home, and people are asking. And there's some people that ask who I was. I'm like, yo, I'm still trying to get like I'm still a new guy here. We played Ravensburg the week before, and there's still people asking who am I and whatnot. Like it's hard. Like it was kind of hard for me to just like get used to the fact that man, people are just going to say what they please, do what they do, and just even if it's not in a sports environment, like just in
Yeah,
public in
definitely.
general, you got to get used to the bull crap that comes with it too. Because
Exactly.
it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows there either, but it was still a cool opportunity for sure.
And that's what you do. You got to take a lot of people want to skip that experience. You understand? And when I say this, I said this. I had to say this to other imports as well. Don't skip if you got an opportunity, take it. Don't skip that experience. All right, because it's going to prepare you for the next opportunity.
Yep.
That's just like in any type of relationship or anything that you in. You may go, you may have this experience, right? That's what you experience. Now you know your worth. Now you're gonna know what you want to expect from this person or your partner, and that's
Yeah.
the that's the that's the that's what that's how it relates to football as well.
Yeah. That was the most political place I ever been to. Okay. Since we're on that topic, let's keep it funky for the next 30 minutes because
Okay,
we got
bet
30
I
more
like
minutes of this,
that.
and we go. This is why I got the popcorn right here.
I
We gonna
like
keep it real for a minute because when I got there, because I mean, I say a lot of good things about it, and y'all know I have my ins and outs. I want to bring him on so bad, but I don't want to get him in trouble.
we're gonna wait. We're gonna wait to
Yeah.
bring him on.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't want to. I don't want to get him on because I think I'll get him in trouble, and I don't want to do that.
Nah, we
But I
ain't gonna
will
do
say, I will speak for myself when I say this, Marco. Servus, my guy. Let me tell you something. When I tell you, I seen the most outlandish, crazy, ludicrous bullcrap I've ever seen in my life, bro. In GFL, man. God dang it. And he's talking about political. I've seen some stuff that's illegal. Now I ain't getting into that, but he ain't lying, bro. And this kind of one of the biggest reasons why I don't want to have anything to do with that unless you say I'm done with my objective, which I don't think so yet.
it.
But yeah, I don't know how it was with you and the Cowboys, man, but man,
Oh
this
my
past year in Strawberry
goodness.
was crazy.
The Cowboys in 19, you
Oh
gotta understand,
man.
but we was like, so I basically went through two difficult years. 2018, Stan, Coach Bedwell, he was in Algoy, the Flying Circus. You gotta understand, I
Mm-hmm.
came in mid-season, as you said, coming in mid-season. That was tough, you know. But I came in mid-season, played the rest of the season. He got he resigned the week after I got there. Him and the whole
Let me
coaching
tell you.
staff went 2019. Um,
Mm-mm.
they needed all the imports got hurt for the first team. I signed as a cowboy, so all the imports got hurt from the first team. Me, Elliott moved up. What happened? We was getting. I'm just gonna keep it a buck, man. They was telling us like, "Hey, you gonna play here with us this game? or we're gonna get you a flight home. I was, bro, I stay in Germany. Do whatever you got. I stay here. It's cool with me. But that's how they was, because like they was in a position to where they lose regulation game, and we had
Oh, they went into business.
but that's what I'm saying. They went business wise. Hey, and that's why I think, we had a team there that was pretty good in 2019. When Brian and Brandon was playing with the Rangers and Lucky,
Yep.
they was good. Yeah, but we didn't play against them no more because we left to go with the team one and Cowboys. But it's like sometimes it's a business, man. You gotta, like we said last time, you gotta understand the business terms of it as well. It's like
Boy,
sports is a business.
but especially, man, I figured that out. We played the Iowa Comets this past year too, bro. I I told you about what happened, right?
Which which
Bro,
position?
we was getting dog walked, man, for the first half, and because we didn't have our DC that game, bro. So, man, we had somebody else calling plays. I'm not throwing nobody under the bus.
Oh.
But man, I'm gonna keep it funky, bro. Shit, I got chewed the hell out because dudes didn't do their job, bro. Like dudes wasn't doing their job, bro. We playing cover three. I mean, we playing cover two against one of the fastest receivers
I
in
know you're talking about.
GFL one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about we ain't getting hands on him or nothing. And Baker, that's when Baker left too. God dang it, man! He didn't get hands on or nothing. So I'm getting barbecue chicken. Everybody looking at me like you supposed to cover that. I'm like, bro, this dude literally. I ain't gonna lie. This kid was a solid. If I showed you who he was, you probably know.
I,
I ain't
I
gonna. I
I
ain't gonna
know who
let
he
you.
is. I know who he is.
But he was a fast dude. Was fast as shit, bro. Like he was fast as hell.
Legit
So
from
he
the
beat.
comments. Little slot receiver.
Yeah, you know, you
I
know.
already know. I'm
Hold on,
here for
hold
the
on. As a
game.
matter of fact, he on here. Yeah, he on there. But yeah, no, this was against Albert Comets. Man, we didn't get hands on cover two, man. And I got chewed out the next practice, and I'm like, bro, I understand where he coming from because coach and what coach told me made sense. His job is on the line, my job on the line. And if it ever looked like that, bro, then it's gonna be on him because he's a coordinator. But he wasn't there. you
Mm-hmm.
know.
Mm-hmm.
So the guy who called that game, I'm not saying who did it, but the guy who called that game should have been the one that was getting shoot, bro. Because that was crazy to me. That was crazy.
No, but I'm glad you said something. How do you take it when a coach comes to you and talk to you and ask you like and tell you like, hey, I need you to play a little bit better, even though you can't make all the plays? Because as you said, when your coach came to you and said, "Hey, my job is on the line," how did you take that as a player?
I ain't gonna lie, that motivated the hell out of me because I understood where he was coming from. Because yeah, it's a business, and GFL one is definitely still gonna be a business. But at the end of the
Yeah.
day, man, if a dude is gonna still get his ass barbecue chicken and cover four at the
Mm-hmm.
halftime, I had somebody in front of me. I had one of the best receivers in GFL last year in front of me too. I'm not about
Mm-hmm.
to, you know what I'm saying? So, if one guy ain't doing his job, okay, I accept that. But that motivated the hell out of me. But it didn't get me mad because I saw where he was coming from, and I had to understand, like, okay, I know why I'm here, and it's not really because of what I'm thinking, but I know. But yeah, it just motivated me honestly. But
Okay.
in the back of
Okay.
my head, I knew that why he was saying it. So
Yeah, because it's a lot of players. They may take that a different way. Like um, we have a lot of it's a lot of imports and stuff, and a lot of coaches be like, control what you can control.
mm-hmm.
You can control to help your teammates out. You can
Yeah.
control to put now. You can control that, but it's only up to your teammates to make that play, right? But
Mm-hmm.
that comes back to what we say and adapting to your environment. You got to be able to. It's not always about you. You got to be able to adapt and put people in the best position. Now, if they should know they should be in that position to make that play because
Man, but oh man, dude, we speaking about environments right now. Like, bro, that was probably the other than Silesia Rebels, bro, that was probably the most crazy environment I ever had to experience. But it wasn't nothing like it wasn't as bad as Silesia though. But that was just crazy to
So
experience that
that
because I
those
never
was
would
your
have
worst
thought.
environments, huh?
It was. You said my worst environment.
What was your one of your worst environments?
Man, okay, Brazil in 2019 at Juventus, bro.
What?
Oh
You didn't
no,
like
because I don't
Brazil?
care about. I don't care, huh?
You didn't like Brazil?
Oh no, I like Brazil, but I'm talking about the football. Let me, because I don't care about them. So let me tell you, my teammates, I love y'all in Brazil. I love y'all, Mauricio, Bruno. I love
Eu
y'all,
sou
but
dado vocês, my Brazilian
but
brother.
other than that, bro, no. Let me tell you why I did not like it, bro. Because okay, it started off with the president. I'm not going to name drop him because I don't know if he's still there or not. But they changed their name and all that. But
Mm-hmm.
so the reason why the environment was so bad because they were so dominant the past few years because they had guys. But then they started losing money and stuff like that because they were partnered with Juventus FC, the football
The
club and stuff like
soccer,
that.
yeah, yeah.
So, because that's where most of the money come from. So they ended up having some kind of butt heads. I don't know what happened. But we ended up, man, I got to practice. No, I didn't even come to practice. I got brought to a hotel. And I'm going to go ahead and say this whole story because I've been holding this in for 6 years, damn near, 7 years maybe. So I get to the hotel, man. I didn't even go to practice. I had to go to a game. I went straight to the freaking game, hot as hell. I had no helmet. I had no pads. Bro, we sharing helmets and shoulder pads, bro. Like literally, we sharing equipment. We had 3 guys show up to practice. And it was like, what is this? We had 3 dudes show up to practice.
I had to text one of my how you say this in English, my sports director for my youth
Uh-oh.
thing. I got to get everything right and
Yeah.
stuff. But yeah, now I know how that stuff is, man. That stuff crazy how you
Did you
deal
have to
with,
share a helmet?
huh?
Did you have to share a helmet when you was in Brazil?
Who me?
Yeah.
Bruh, come on. I ain't never had to do that stuff.
Bro, I
Bro,
shared
I
a
was in Sao
helmet.
Paulo. I was in Sao Paulo, so I was playing in the
Oh, you was
season.
in a good one.
Yeah, I was in Sao Paulo, and at that time
Oh,
we had everything. Like, bro, I was staying on the resort. I had 2 rooms. I had a resort by the bar, and then I
yeah.
had a resort over there by the gym. So, and the craziest things, I still love my Brazilian family till this day because I got a family that I can always go back to. And it honestly, bro, if it wasn't for my son, I'd be there right now.
Mm-hmm.
If it wasn't for my son, I'll be in Brazil right now.
Mm-hmm.
The football was good there. I love the people. I actually went to like the Portuguese class. I learned the basics and stuff. But like, I love Brazil. I can't say nothing bad. You know what? I've met what's his name? Jake. I played against
Mm-hmm.
Jake in
Yep,
Brazil.
Jake Sheemans. Yeah. Brazil was
Played
a
against
good,
him.
like it was a cool place to party too.
Oh
Beautiful
man, Sao
place.
Paulo, bro. I was
Mm.
everywhere in Sao Paulo. I went to Colombia, bro. When I say Brazil is the spot, everybody go to Brazil and experience Brazil. Please make sure you're single, though. Okay, and not just because the women, but it's. I think the people there are more open. You know,
They are. Yeah, there's a
they're
lot.
more they're more like they don't care how much they have. They want you to embrace their culture. And once you embrace their culture and stuff, you're going to see how open minded. You may see stuff on the media, but it's not really like that, though.
Yeah, for sure. And like when I was out there, I ain't gonna lie to you, I ain't touched nothing.
No,
No way.
I ain't. Yeah, now
No.
you do have those. I was about to say, but you do have those. What you call them? I don't want to disrespect nobody. What you call them, Davion?
Them
What would you
them
call?
them them they boys or whatever. Them the
Yeah,
she
you have
ladies or
those.
whatever.
Yeah. You have them lady boys. I think
He
that's what
lady,
they
yeah,
call.
lady boy. That's what it is. Hold
And you
up.
got to be careful. But
Let me hold up a second. Hold up a second. Let me see if I get him on. We ain't gonna talk bad or nothing. I'm gonna see if he gonna come on here for a second. Lady
okay,
boys. Let me see if he gonna come on here for a second because I need to. He talking a lot. I need to see if he gonna accept it.
it got to be Dwayne.
Nah, it's Troy. I'm gonna
Oh,
see if
Troy.
Troy.
Cool.
I'm gonna see if
Okay,
Troy. Dwayne. I'm gonna get him on if Troy. Oh, here we go.
What's
Oh
up,
God,
man?
What's
Jesus
up?
Christ! What's good, Coach?
Oh, what's going on, man? Just chilling at home. What you guys doing? Getting
Talking
this
shit.
talking
Ain't
in,
nothing
man.
new. Hey, I brought you on here because I got a few questions, man. Because Torin did make a good point. He did ask a good question. He said, "How was your year with the Mets?" And I've always wanted to know how it was with them because the
Oh
Warsaw
my
Mets is one of
God,
my favorite
yes.
teams. It was one of my favorite teams in Poland. And how was it there? How was your experience last year with them?
Last year was sorry, my dog. Every time he hears something on the phone, starts whining and crying at me, so I'm not paying
Yeah.
attention. No, it was good. We had a very young team, and I think they had a bunch of stuff that that needed to be fixed and prioritized a little bit more than what they were doing at the point in time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but you know, I think before I left, we had some stuff I told them they probably need to look at working on. And to their
Hmm.
credit, from what I've seen from afar, because I'm not a part of them anymore, but like they've pretty much done that. They've hired a lot of people and done a lot of things. The problem they have, and they're always going to have, is they don't spend money on Polish imports.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Everyone else in Poland does.
Yep.
So, like the Eagles, for example, are going to spend money and they're going to be good, and that's just the way it is. But
Yeah.
so they have to be really good at developing and young talent, and if they're not, then they're going to have issues and keeping it there.
I think
You know,
that's
But do
the
you? What
I
was you
think
saying?
that's one of the biggest things. I see where the Eagles are getting more involved with the NFL flag football and stuff. We had TJ. I mean, we had not TJ, Terrence
Terrence.
over there.
Terrence.
yeah.
Terrence was doing a good job over there, but like I think with the Mets, it was a situation where they are the capital. They're in Warsaw. You have everything there in Warsaw. Why not focus? I don't know if they focus, if you guys focus on your youth team. I would just remember when I played for the Warsaw Sharks, we didn't really focus on our youth team. And
They
that
got a pretty good youth team.
The youth team, I
but
think, won last. They were in the finals the year before, and they
They
won
won a
this year.
championship this year,
oh
didn't they?
yeah, okay.
Yeah,
So
so they
but
gotten
I
better because they haven't had a youth team, but
Yeah,
two
exactly.
or three
That's what I'm
years.
saying. They didn't have the youth team, but I think what, as you said, for the Eagles, as they're investing in their domestic Polish guys, I think that's what's going to help them in the long run and have an established program because they have the coaches over there, they have the players over there now, and once you have that connection and the brotherhood, you can go compete with anybody.
I don't disagree with you. I think they have some lofty goals that they're trying to reach.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but they have like the Eagles don't have a junior program really.
Oh, really?
It's really bad.
Mm.
From what I've heard, I can't say too much more about it, but they didn't do very well at all this year. Um,
Okay.
they had
I thought,
a very good quarterback, but then he passed away, so it
yeah,
was a
yeah,
pretty big
yeah,
hit.
yeah. That's tough.
And take everyone else's juniors that they get ready, So it is what it is. I mean, that's kind of the way to play football in Poland is, hey, you raise up your guys as much as you possibly can, get them to where they're at, and someone else going to pay them more than you will, and they gone. And
That's that's exactly how it was back in the day, and
it's
we was at
exactly how it is now.
yeah. Gdynia was always back in the day. It was like Gdynia and Voswell back in those days, and they will pay you to come here. Yeah, it was crazy, but like I hope Polish. I want to see Polish football get back to how it used to be.
It's not. Man, uh,
They don't have a
sometimes
lot of
people are going
people
to be
that are trying to do
too
what's
much.
best for Poland. They do what's
Yeah.
best for themselves a little
Uh-huh.
bit too much.
Yeah.
I mean, if they got somebody like I didn't try that hard, but I tried like, shoot, just make me president of the Poles. I'll fix all this stuff because there's some crazy stuff that goes on in Poland. Don't get me wrong, behind the scenes that most people don't know about. But like, you just say, just get somebody in there that runs this thing correctly, upholds the rules that they make. Not let certain people control the whole entire league,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and
yeah,
you're going to be all right. But
yeah.
that's not the case.
Coach Baker,
Yeah.
what I don't know if I can ask you this, but I thought you were supposed to go back to Strawberry. What happened?
It was just a financial issue,
Okay.
really. I wanted more than what they're offering, and he said no, and then never heard from him again. So that's the way
Okay.
it is.
Mm.
Yeah.
I thought, for a GFL coach, you're supposed to get paid reasonably well. I'm not saying you're going to get paid a ton, but like reasonably well. And when
Yeah.
they only offer you like the exact same salary you were on when you weren't being the head coach or the OC or the O-line coach or the head coach of every other team on the team, then to me it's not enough. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
they hired somebody else.
You got it. Yeah, I agree with you on that because sometimes, as we said before, you got a lot of imports come over here and they just want the opportunity, so they will just come over here. But with you, as you said, you knew what you was worth. You did it the year before as an O line coach, an OC, and stuff, and as a head coach. Like
Mm-hmm.
you got to get paid for that as well. Like you can't just sign me as this and then pay me the minimum because if I don't do the other jobs, you're going to say I'm fired. And I
Yeah.
think that's where a lot of organizations have to understand. Like, you got to, when you say you're going to pay this coach, you got to really pay this coach and invest in this coach because he's also going to get your youth program right.
And you're not wrong. And it straight up becomes like, all right, if you're paying an O-line coach, you're paying an OC, and you're paying a head coach, and you're paying me in one season, and now the next season I'm doing all those positions by myself, and you want to do that, I'm like, that don't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
It was a good deal besides the money part, but like, there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes where you just kind of like, I've
Oh
never
man.
met a manager or excuse me, an owner or a manager that hasn't, besides maybe one, that hasn't been like, if you're not winning, you out of here,
Oh, yeah.
and they don't really trust you with long-term deals, even if they give you one. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I've been down that road before. So, like,
That's,
it is what it is, man. I mean, it's a lot different than the States. The
mm-hmm.
hard part about it is when you get back to the States, nobody believes in anything you've done or if it matters or not. So if you ever try to go back, no one really gives a crap about what your European resume says because
Okay.
they're just going to be like, why wouldn't you do that in the States? Who wants to play in Poland or Germany or wherever? It's a weird thing because now all the NFL coaches and D1 retired guys are coming to coach in Europe.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
The younger coaches are getting pushed out because of that. So they get pushed back to the States and nobody will hire them because it says you got a European resume. So
But
it's a pretty fun life.
but my thing is, because man, we seen this happen in the with the Russ Walk Panthers, man. It don't matter what kind of coach or from what background you get, man. If the guys don't like him, they can get rid of him. Man, I heard stories about one of the guys. I forgot what his name is. Man, it was a DC or something. They didn't like him, so the Panthers got rid of him. And this is a player I coached when he was younger. When he was playing with me in Rebels. So I'm not saying names, but he was telling me, man, he tried to make it structured as like as a college practice, and he didn't understand. Guys had to work, guys had university and stuff like that. So when that happened, guys didn't want to play no more. And so when they was losing their roster, they had to kick the coach to the curb because most coaches that come over here don't know that it's not the States. It's not, you ain't gonna get the same talent as you would in the States, and the mindset is way different than what you think it is. So they got rid of him so fast because of that, and also some other factors may have happened. He didn't tell me what, but there's a lot of things that play into those professional coaches and those big name coaches coming over here and
Yeah.
just getting jobs, but they don't understand this ain't what they think it is really.
Well, it kind of works both ways. They
Yeah.
either come real close, none of the players like it, or they show up and they go, "Nah, I'm good," and they out.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah.
what happened with the guards. From what I heard, when they first season, they had like 9 NFL former coaches, and they were
yeah.
there for 2 weeks, and then they went out and they were gone. They never
Yeah,
came
yeah.
back. They were like,
Yeah.
"We good,"
Yeah,
because
yeah.
of
Because
whatever.
it's not professional ball.
But
It's
I
not really professional ball, man. That's what people don't
yeah,
understand. Like
well,
it's
you're trying to
thousands of
create a new
professionals.
thing that people aren't used to doing. So it's like if you take any European kid and you go put them in a high school or college situation, first of all, they're probably not going to be used to doing it every day. They're going to
Mhm.
get their butt kicks. They're going to be overpowered. They're not going to be used to it. So your choice is then, do I want to play football and do I want to get good at it, or do I just like want to, be the best in my town or something like that?
Yeah.
And
Hometown hero.
and when you get thrown into that situation, it's either you got to sink or swim. And
Exactly.
but the problem is when management's people don't take into account, what's the goal, where are we going, what is the plan, or have a plan in general, you know,
Mhm.
and then they just let your players run the business, and then you're going, okay, so you just got rid
Oh,
of the guy that you hired that knows football more than anybody else, so your players can feel better about themselves. I mean, I get it. It's not an easy business in Europe. That stuff happens every day.
it
You
happens.
got to play the line, and it's really hard. And that's why I've told GFL guys, or not GFL, ELF guys that I've talked to in the past, and it's like, listen, there's a difference between, I 100% agree with you. My resume and my accolades do not match an NFL former coach ever.
Yeah.
But when's the last time that guy's had to actually coach somebody? Not
Just
scheme up, coach somebody, or put in a situation that they're not 100% comfortable with, and they're no longer getting paid millions of dollars to do it. So,
this was
but they're
going to be
getting their
my
paid
question
vacation.
for you. That was going to be my question. I'm glad you touched on that because, and let's just be honest, it's a lot of teams that sign these big time name coaches, and I'm not
And
hating on the
players.
coaches and players, and they bring them over here for public. Oh, we signed this
Publicity.
guy. He did this. He was
Marketing.
here. But I'm going to ask you two guys this: would you rather have a guy who experienced the lifestyle over here, that's been over here, that understand these guys more consistently, than have an NFL coach that he's so used to the NFL and he's just coming over here for a vacation? He's going to come over here. Maybe teams won't keep him long term, but you actually been over here for a while, and now you like, okay, should I bring this NFL? I'm just putting you in a GM position. Which
Mm-hmm.
one will you choose? An NFL coach or a guy that's been over here, that played over here and understand? So I want to ask you guys, which position, which way will you take?
To be honest with you, I ain't gonna lie, man. I wouldn't take an Art Browse his first year, but now that Art Browse has been over here with Guelphy for a long time and he knows how it really goes over here, I would take a guy like that. But
Mm-hmm.
but I would rather take a guy that's been around the environment and actually understands. So I wouldn't just
Exactly.
take a high name just for the publicity, because yeah, all publicity ain't always good publicity, especially if
Exactly.
the guys don't like him. Like I've seen this so many times when I was in Silesia. We get all these coaches and we got all these guys. Oh, he has a national team resume, but who gives a damn about the national team? I don't. Like
Yeah.
that isn't going to make nobody better. It's up to the players to get better. And if they understand his philosophy, and if he has a philosophy, then it's going to be beneficial for the guys, not just him being a NFL coach. Oh, I get to learn from an NFL coach. Like, no, give me somebody that understands how this really goes instead of somebody who's tough. Anybody can be tough, but everybody can't understand, like, the environment that they're in.
Mm-hmm.
I think, there's a lot to be said about an NFL guy
Yeah.
and D1 guys that know, and I'm not going to lie, they know a lot more stuff and have been in situations a lot greater than
Uh-huh.
what they're in.
Mm-hmm.
But I also think you need to have a mixture of both. But you
Okay.
can't just hire like an assistant running back coach from a Polish league team who knows, left and right and how to hold the ball. That's a different thing. I mean, you obviously
Mm-hmm.
got to know your stuff a little bit to get on there, but I do find there's a lot of value in having a coach from Europe on your team.
Mm-hmm.
Multiple.
Mm-hmm.
I should say it should be probably, like, if you want to have NFL guys, okay, take a couple of guys and then fill the rest of your team with European guys that have been in this situation. But to go back to something Davion said, is you can be tough in Europe. You know, if you're in the right situation, you do the right things, you can be tough on guys and get them to do, you know, it's not easy. You know, obviously they have to develop some trust. You have to do some stuff with them at first to get them all to jump on the game more. Like I messaged you guys earlier about like attendance, for example. I was super tough on attendance. I was calling guys, messaging them every single time to show them at least I care. I noticed they weren't there. And I learned this from another coach in Europe, but I had an 80% rule the first year. If you don't make 80%, you're not playing. If you miss, 2 practices, you're definitely not playing, type of thing, unless there's a significant reasoning for it. I'm not stupid enough to go, hey, you had to go to work in 3 hours away. Nah, screw you, man. You weren't at practice, Like, if you're doing that every single day, of course, there becomes a spot of no return. But, like, we started doing that in Bialystok, and first year we did it with their juniors the first year, and then we did it with seniors, and we both won championships. We both got over 80%. The second year, we went, I believe we finished at 90% with 45 guys on the roster, and guys coming from Warsaw every day or coming from Łódź every day, which is like 4-hour trip.
Yeah, Łódź is, yeah.
And you're going, well, it can be done.
Yeah.
It just takes time and effort to do it. But like, guys can be tough. I don't get the tough part. I just feel like with professional coaches, it's just you're in a boat, you're in the sea with the wrong boat.
Yeah.
Or you're in a lake and you got the boat for the ocean. And some of that stuff is very frustrating as a European coach, that's for sure.
Exactly. Exactly. It's definitely frustrating because you can see the potential of other coaches, because as an NFL coach, I can only see, I've been around a lot of them, but as a European coach, you see this NFL coach sometimes not investing in the youth program, right? And as I tell my people here, the youth is the future. You have to invest in the youth program because that's the next future. Like, you may have guys at 28, 29, and they work in constructions. Who's going to replace those guys? You're going to you're going to buy another import, and he's going to be here, 6 months, and then go back home, and who's going to keep replacing him? If you don't have, my thing is, if you don't have a consistent coach that's going to be here year round, helping these players getting better year in, year out, bringing in a NFL coach for 6 months, that's good for the value, the knowledge that he gives. But for the long-term goal, do you guys think that's good to bring him in for 6 months and then bring in a new coach? Because I think, my personal opinion, this is mine, I think whenever you bring in a top name guy and then you bring him away, it's going to confuse the domestic guys whenever you bring in a normal person and, this coach coached in the NFL, but you didn't. And you're going to have to make that boundary right there, be like, okay, I respect that coach, but I am your coach now.
Yeah. That's tough. I know why the teams do it. Because they want players to come to the team and they think they're going to help and do all this stuff. And sometimes they do.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. There are guys that have had some success and done well. It's not an easy situation, that's for sure. I think having a year-round coach makes everyone better.
Exactly.
But that's not a thing that people are willing to invest or don't have the money to invest in. And I've only been in that situation twice, and they've been really good situations. That's what I've been looking for, and that's why I'm not in Europe anymore. Nobody wants that anymore, and it's too expensive or whatever it may be. So, but they are willing to, hey, I'll give you whatever your money you want for 6 months, but I'm not going to give it to you for 12.
Exactly.
That's just how it works.
Yeah.
And it's much more beneficial when a coach is there all year round too, because nobody wants to keep learning the same or a different system. Nobody wants to experience
100%.
a different 12 different systems. If a guy has the same coach, he keeps the same system, they already know what to do on the fly. They know how to, run this play, run which gap is here, run which route, learn the route tree and all this stuff. They know what to do when you have the same coach, and they understand his philosophy. What makes it so much worse is some of these teams literally are always getting new coaches, and most of the time, signing guys and imports aren't really good for the philosophy and the chemistry of the team. Because, I mean, you could do all this signing and this big marketing for the real Instagram reels, likes and followers and shit, but that's not going to do you no good. You telling me straight up that you're going to get if you get Art Briles for 6 months, that's going to win you a championship? Hell no. You got to learn how to build team chemistry. And if a coach has a philosophy, they all have to be on board with it. It don't matter who you get. If you don't believe in the coach's philosophy and if you don't believe in the coach's game plan, you're going to get dog walked by 50. Like, let's be real. Like, I can't stand when coaches consistent or organizations bring guys in and out. Like it messes up the chemistry of the team.
Exactly.
Now you start from day one again, and everybody talks about rebuilding. Like, man, I've seen a team in Poland talk about a championship consistently. Like, bro, you're not gonna win a championship getting the new DC, a new head coach, and having a new defensive playbook every freaking 3 years. You're not gonna do that.
That's tough.
Especially getting new players
That's
that are
tough.
old or mercenary. You're not gonna do that. Like, let's be real. I hate the new. Like, be consistent with one thing and give the coach what he wants if he's improving your program. That's what I always felt about that, but to each his own.
Well, you got to look at it as these guys. So I try to put myself in the brain of a manager or
Exactly.
the manager of a team from time to time. And so sometimes it hurts, but I got to try it. But, you know, you just put yourself in the mind and see, like, what they're trying to accomplish. Like, some of those times, like you're talking about, there's a question, do you want to accomplish victories? Do you want to be a championship caliber team? Well, I could tell you this. If you go look at Alabama, did they ever have, hey, we got Nick Saban for 1 year? No, they never did that. What? How many years Nick Saban was there? You know, did he win his very first year? I don't think he did.
No.
You know, did Bill Belichick win his first year as a Patriots? No, they didn't, because they had time to put in their stuff and they had the chance to be successful. But I also understand it, like, to a certain degree. You know, there's things in our heads as coaches, like, we're thinking about that other people it wouldn't cross their brain. Like doing culture, doing your plays so everybody's better the second year. Everybody's caught on. You've gotten rid of the guys you don't need. The cancerous guys are gone. You fix your coaching staff, because you might show up and you have a bunch of dudes that don't give a crap about you at all. It's not only your players. You got to get your coaches, your management, your fans all on your side in 6 months. And the only way they see that as positive is if you're winning. Because 90% of those people don't ever see you half the time. Fans don't see you. Management aren't at practices for the most part. You know,
Shit.
But at the end of the day,
that's real.
Nobody is going to ask a player, for the most part. They might. I mean, it's probably been done. They're not going to go to the players on the team and say, hey, did you like Coach Baker? No, they're going to go to the manager and say, what'd you think of Coach Baker or whoever, or Davion, and say, what'd you think of him? Now, if that one person don't like you, or you have some run-ins about how you're doing stuff, then that's the
Gabe, what I tell you, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Coach. What I tell you about that shit during the season?
Yeah, but
I told you, Gabe, I literally told you they would literally do some shit like that. But man, I don't like I didn't. I'm not gonna get into it.
But that's also a thing too. How do you feel? Do you think players have, or they should have, that role? I mean, I understand, because as you said earlier, you put yourself as in the mind of a GM. I do it all the time here. I have to adapt to the Germans, how they think as well. But do you think players should have the authority to say, I don't like this person, and go against this coach, and then try to brainwash everybody else to get this coach out? Do you think that's the club needs to stop?
I know why you asked that question. I know exactly why you asked that question.
Do you think clubs need to just be like, okay, if you're not being consistent enough? I mean, because they do play to play. That's true. They do play to play. All right. But it's a certain point that I think clubs need to get like, okay, we're going to make the decision for the whole team, not just for one player. Because it's a lot of players that be like, I don't like this coach, and then they go spread the cancer, as you said before. They spread the cancer. And then if that cancer spread, it is
You're
HELL.
done.
Yeah.
You done, man. And that's just
And
how
I
it is.
think and I think my opinion, I just think like sometimes I think clubs need to just come to practice and then see how things are organized,
Organized.
and then they be able to see everything that way. But it's not going to happen, I think, in Europe.
But if your manager don't know nothing about football, they ain't gonna know what you're doing anyway.
Exactly.
But I agree. But I agree with everything you just said.
Yeah.
You know, I've been in many different situations throughout my coaching career in Europe where the players have had way too much say, and like it only takes one player, especially if it's if you don't get along with your best player.
Oh,
That's all
my
it takes
goodness.
sometimes. You know, and that's the same in the NBA. I mean, there's nothing different about that.
Yeah.
But like I do agree to a certain point where you go like, okay, if one person doesn't like you, like when I'm recruiting a coach or a player, I don't stop with the one person. I don't. That's just my philosophy.
Yeah, I
If
don't
I'm
either.
going to
Yeah.
ask somebody about you, I'm not going to go to say, hey, what do you think about such and such? Oh, he sucks. Okay. They'll give me their reasoning and whatever, and then I'll go to somebody else. Now, if I've hit 5 or 6 people who've said the same thing, or 2 people who have been like the craziest, you know, then that's a different story. I mean, I have a great story about that if you want to hear it, but I could do that for a while.
Boy.
Devian, what's your
It's just
intake about that?
Oh shit, bro! Baker
We save it
knows
for another
exactly, bro.
episode.
You said what?
We can save it for another episode.
No. Ain't nothing promised. So listen. So
I'm
my
cool
whole
with telling
thing
it.
about this,
I'm cool with telling mine. I'm just
Okay.
No, I'm gonna tell it like it is because man, bro, I experienced this at Strawberry too, man. Because you know how it's a lot of chit chat around there too. I'm a person that don't really like to hide that shit, but man, oh shit, off the field, that's one thing I hated about Strong because if they didn't like you, everybody gonna know about that. Everybody. And so I didn't, and I would always
except for you.
find out what the issue was with
Exactly.
somebody on the field or off the field. And we know about the import situation that happened. I don't know if you left or something. I don't know after you left, but about the
There was a
import
lot of
situation
stuff that happened.
with Lipsy. Yeah, there was a lot
5 or
of stuff
6
that happened
weeks.
after Lipsy situation, man. Man, it was just like for me, I understood both sides of it, but then again, like everybody got to do their research and they got to be careful about who they bringing in too, because you always want to see the good of somebody because you don't know the whole story. There's always 3 sides to the story: his side, her side, the truth. You know, so I understand why you can't play devil's advocate or you can't play both sides of it, but it is good to ask around before you end up or bringing anybody that has kind of like a bad resume or a situation or a head on it, because man, guys gotta start doing their research about a lot of people, even if it's a coach. But like I said, I even told Max when he was asking about you when I was in Serbia. He asked about you because I remember.
Hi, Max. By the way.
Yeah. He was. I remember him telling him about you and whatnot and stuff like that. And it does go a long way. Just asking around because again, you don't want to bring in that one person that could possibly cause a lot of collateral damage to like one program. So it's really important that guys that do have a good good resume, as in like character wise, good character on the team. It's good that that you bring them in and you know who they are. But there's a lot of people that like that out there. So, like I said, I only know because I know you from Poland. I tried to get you on Silesia Rebels, but thank God you did not go there because that was an absolute dumpster fire in 2021. And I feel bad for my guy John Losella because they shit on him so bad. So, it's just you just got to ask around really, and that's really how I feel about it.
For you.
What's up?
I had a quick question for you. Now I kind of forgot it, but no, I'm saying, how many people you got to talk to before you make a decision on somebody you've never met? Or
all I got is 3 to 5. Really, it's just 3 to 5. And if it's the third one, it's got to be a most. I got to trust him to make this judgment, because I would either. So all right, I'm gonna tell you who I would actually, if I actually recommended somebody recommended to me. First guy I ask, hey Gabe, do you know? First guy is Gabe. Hey, you know about this dude? Or I would ask another guy, one of my guys from Romania, because he knows a lot of guys too. Or I ask another import that's well known. I would ask like 3 of my most trustworthy, reliable sources, because man, if you put your name on somebody, if you put your name betting on somebody and they do some shit that's gonna hurt you in the end, bro, you could get hurt in the long run with it too. So
well,
you gotta
they had
have three guys.
So I wanted to tell the story, and I'm going to tell it. If we have enough time, I'll make it quick.
We got about 13 minutes before this thing shut off.
Okay, I'll make it real quick. We were talking to this quarterback import guy, and I don't care about telling the story because you'll find out. But I talked to a bunch of people about him. First, people I tell me, oh, this guy is not a good import. We put him at somebody's house. He trashed the house, and the people who are like board members were like, get this guy out of here. So they move him with somebody else. And 2 weeks later, that guy's saying, get him out of here. And then the team finally goes, hey, this guy needs to go. So the team fires him, but they're doing really well. The team's like 5-0, and he's their quarterback. So they end up cutting this guy. So he goes to somewhere else, and they hire him for the rest of the season. And this is when I think it was ELF's first year. And the ELF team, I got a hurt quarterback, and he says, hey, come on, man, we need you. And so he goes to the Finland team and goes, hey, you better pay me exactly this or I'm going to the ELF team. Hasn't played a game yet, hasn't done anything yet. They don't, so he takes off, goes to the ELF team. And then I don't know if he ends up finishing, he gets fired, but he ends up being on 4 teams in the same year. So I talked to all 4 of these people, and all 4 of them said the exact same thing. So to me, as a coach, I'm going, well, that's pretty unanimous that this guy
I know who
shouldn't
you're
be
talking
the
about.
guy.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
And so
I ain't saying names.
I told him that hey, we're not interested. I've heard, I told him exactly what people told me. I'm not one of those guys that's going to be like, hey, we don't want you by or not talk to you again, because I hate that stuff when people do that to imports or coaches or whoever. If I can, I'm going to give you a good reason, especially if we've been talking for a while.
Exactly.
So I told him that. And so I end up hiring a different guy that year. He shows me a message talking to this guy, or he tells me I think the second time we talked, hey, I just got a message from some quarterback saying, hey, stay away from Baker. I heard something bad about him and he blah, 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 blah. So, just me doing my due diligence and being nice to this guy ended up potentially costing me guys because of just, doing your job.
I know who you're talking about. That's crazy.
And it was crazy. He ended up showing me, the guy who ended up signing, he ended up showing me the message. And I'm like, this guy really is telling every quarterback not to sign with me because I asked other people what they said about you. I didn't say that about you. I just made the decision that I didn't want to have to say it about you later.
And that's the biggest, that happens a lot. A lot of people get mad when they don't get that opportunity and they start hating on the person. Oh my goodness, that happens.
We were just talking about this too, bro.
Well, it's happened more than once. I mean, that's probably happened 3 or 4 times in Europe for me.
And then like when you're in that coaching position, it's totally different. Like it's a different role. And as an import hate on each other. All right, understand? Imports hate on each other. But when you're a coach over here and you have other coaches hating on you because you're doing a good job on your program or recruiting well, oh, that coach always gets the best import. Oh, why is he doing still? When you have that type of hate and the import hate, that's tough to deal with. That's really tough to deal with.
Yeah. Well, that's also when you do get them in the house and then somebody in management says some stuff and you don't agree with it, but you want to keep your job, so you got to go along with it.
Exactly.
And who gets crapped on about it? The coach does.
Coach.
And like at the end of the day, that wasn't my decision. It wasn't my choice. Just I'm the one that had to deliver the news, and that's just how it goes
Yeah.
sometimes.
It really goes like that. I remember, Debbie, I remember I had that talk with you guys. You know, I sat my whole import down. I was like, hey, listen, the club is thinking this way. The guys are talking. Nobody will never go, as you said before, nobody will ever come to you and tell you personally how you should be doing this or how they think you should be doing. All right. But I sat them down. I went to them to the import house. I said, hey, look, this is the situation. We got to do this. We got to do this. We got to do that. All right. After that, we do this. We do that. We do this. We didn't hear no more talking. No more talking at all for the rest of the season. And everybody was, hey, yeah, doing this. And they was happy. But they would do, I think most clubs would do the most. I wouldn't say just clubs and players as well. I think most players will do the most when you're not winning.
Oh, for sure. Winning solves everything.
And winning solves everything. And they get mad at me because I'm a high energy coach. And I try to be, and I tell them, I said, if I have more energy than you, something's wrong.
Good. Yeah, that ain't good.
Something's wrong.
But you can't say anything about it. You saw that UCLA coach.
Yeah.
That boy, I'm surprised he still has a job.
You know what? But that's the thing. This generation is the generation is different now. You know, when you tell someone the truth, they get in their feelings and they may start hating on you, as you said before. You was being honest with the guy, and he's telling everybody, "Hey, don't sign with don't sign with him." So when you've been honest in this generation, most people don't like that. They want you to lie to you. They want you to lie to them and stuff. So that's a big topic as well that we have to talk about another day, Debbie.
That's gonna be next week because man, that's gonna be. I think that's gonna.
We're talking about that for hours.
Yeah, that's gonna piss a lot of people off when we talk about that.
But but a lot of people have to hear the truth though, because
they have to. I don't care. They got to.
That's why I try to tell people, like, you got to be honest, because if you go through your whole life saying somebody's telling you for your region, oh, you're good, you're going to go to the NFL, you're the best player around here. Now you go to college, you're competing with other guys who was their high school athlete, the top dude who's supposed to go here and this and that. Now it's an even more. Now you have to really show people that you can really play, or if not, you're going to fall down.
I wish everybody told the truth. I mean, it's not that way. And that's just like hoping, because sometimes, like, I'll have an interview or something where I think it went pretty good, or I think there's a good chance I could get a job or something like that. And they say, no, we good. And you're kind of like thinking, okay. And this is a very negative thing as well. So don't think like this. Is then you see who they hire and you go,
oh my God, I've been there.
And you go kind of like, all right, so what did I do? Like, what's going on? I want to hear if someone's talking or I said something bad. I want to know about it. It would be nice. I mean, I'm not one of those people that doesn't learn from if I said something stupid, which I do constantly. But like, those things are just kind of like, come on, just tell me, dude. If it's that way, it is that way. Exactly. That's all I want to know.
Either he fed their budget because they don't have no money.
That's exactly what it is.
Either they want to take advantage of this guy because this is either his first year, or they know that he's an easy to get over or step on coach, or 3, they just want they want some kind of like marketing publicity or some bull crap. Because I mean, I'm gonna call him out. I don't care. This is the end of the show. We got 5 more minutes. I don't like Tim Bishop at all, dude. I hate him. I hate Tim Bishop. I don't like Tim Bishop, bro, at all. He pisses me off.
What are you talking about, man?
I don't care.
You talking about Tim that was in Poland?
Yes, I don't like Tim Bishop.
And then he went to Germany. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm talking about a guy that will literally shit on you and like sit up here and play, friend guy in your face. Nah, I can't stand a coach like that, bro.
Yeah.
And then for him to put a guy who put us in the worst position during COVID season to where we will lose, like, nah. I can't stand Tim Bishop at all, dude. Rebels, that's the reason why I don't like Rebels either, because they almost let him come back. I hate him.
And it's tough sometimes when you're in that position too as an import and you have a coach that puts you in a bad situation, and as we said, your biggest adaptation, you got to adapt to it. But or for example, Coach Baker, you have a player who don't watch film, right? How do you take that situation, but it's the main guy who's supposed to control everything for you?
Yep.
Oh,
How
you're
do
talking
you?
like a head coach ain't watching any film?
Oh, that are that are your players.
If I'm paying somebody, then they're gonna be hearing about it. Like I
Yeah.
know I'm never paying out of my pocket for the most part, but like if it's an import and they ain't watching film, we're gonna have issues.
Oh,
You know,
definitely.
if it's a coach, for sure we're gonna have issues, especially if they came over and aren't watching nothing. So I'm going like, but I don't know. I learned my lesson after I would say 2018, 19 about who to bring and who to say. And I try to do as best as possibly can. Like even as like hiring somebody, that is a big thing. Like I forget what it is now. Maybe I can come off the top of my head, but I have like 3 qualifications. If you're a professional, a competitor, and a leader, then you can be on my team. I don't need you to be a 4'3", massive, taller than everybody. Like Davion could probably say, the guys we had like in Poland when he played against us, we didn't ever have the best import ever, but I had the right guy. Hopefully, was what we had in mind in the brain to fit where it
You had
needs to be.
structure.
So, like, if I knew of a guy that didn't watch film or did nothing, I probably
Y'all
wouldn't
had
hire.
structure. Y'all had
Yeah,
structure. That's
but
all it
like
was.
we had a linebacker, Aaron from was it 2022? That guy
Ortiz. Yep.
watched so much film. I mean, he played for Comets last year at linebacker. He watched so much film. It was great. Like just to have, he was really the first import that would come in and like have everything written on his iPad, everything and ready to go. He sit in meeting, like we had meetings every single day.
Made
So
your
I
job
knew
a
they
whole
had
lot
to watch
easier
film.
too. Yeah.
So we brought the QB and the linebacker, whoever the imports were, because they weren't doing nothing. We watched film together every day. So I knew at least I got them watching film. Like we watch practice film, we watch everything
Yeah.
together. So like, but shoot, sorry for the long answer, but like,
You good.
Nah,
You
I
good.
that's
would,
good.
yeah, I'd try to stay away from that life.
Yeah.
Nah, man. It's all good, man. But Coach, I appreciate you coming on. But we gotta have
Definitely.
another chat because next week is gonna be pretty. I think it's gonna be pretty controversial because we gotta deep dive into solutions and how to fix this problem that's going on here in Europe again. So, man, I appreciate you for coming on.
That's
Definitely.
Gabe.
like a monthly conversation.
Yep, for
It's gonna
sure.
take
Definitely.
a long time.
Hell yeah. So, man, y'all take it easy, man. We gonna see y'all next time.
I
Definitely.
appreciate it.
Yep.
Yep.
See you guys.